There we go. All right. Well, hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Dr. Ojo Karens.
I'm still messing with this. Hi, Hannah.
We are running a few minutes behind because we had a few tech issues, but we are glad to be here and thanks for joining us. And thank you, Dr. Ojo Karens. I know you've had a full, busy, hectic day with many people demanding your attention. So I appreciate you coming on because I especially have had some hair removal questions that I'm excited to get answered tonight. The topic for the evening is get summer ready. So
We're there.
if you're watching, feel free to toss in a question. You can also, as always, for any show, you can submit it beforehand if you want some anonymity with your question. But this is a free and easy chat here. So what do you mean by get summer ready?
Well, there's so many ways to get summer ready. So many things that you should be mindful of as the seasons change. First of all, get ready to get out, get ready to be more active and have more fun, especially now with most of the population getting their COVID vaccine. We're able to be a bit more communal than we have been this last year. So getting summer ready should also bring to mind those health concerns that we should always be aware of. And so that is our, again, activity level, health, diet, hydration level. It's warmer weather, and so becoming dehydrated, succumbing to the heat is very easy to occur. In the highest temperatures, you should avoid being outside or in direct heat for more than 15, 20 minutes at a time without rehydrating. It's time to be in the shade, time to make sure you're wearing your sunscreen, no matter how much melanin is in your skin. Everyone should be wearing sunscreen, at least 30 SPF of sunscreen. There's different types of sunscreen too. Did you know that?
Different types like in SPF levels or something else?
SPF levels and also content, chemicals, was what the sunscreen's made of.
Oh, yeah. And is this true? Don't listen to me for facts. Listen to Dr. Ojo Karens for the facts. But I thought that there was that mineral sunscreen, if it's a mineral base, then it doesn't expire as quickly. A lot of sunscreens don't last from one summer to the next. So yeah. I found that out the hard way.
Well, preservatives, they have preservatives to keep them within time that you can use them. So there's the chemical sunscreen and then also physical, like the mineral sunscreen that you were talking about. So chemical absorbs the rays, whereas mineral kind of protects the skin and acts more like a shield against sun rays. So yeah, there are different types of sunscreen. We use mineral sunscreen in our house because my children have sensitive skin. People with sensitive skin, oftentimes that's a better sunscreen to use.
Mm-hmm. This is a pure vanity thing, but I keep mine now by my door leaving so that I put it on my face and then I get the top of my hands because of just hands aging.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not a very vain person. I don't put a lot of time into it, but I am trying to just preserve.
Well, you're also trying to keep healthy, so there's nothing wrong with wanting to look your best and be your best, and beauty and vanity, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be beautiful. Everyone's beautiful in their own right. But what we're talking about is also protecting yourself and protecting your health, protecting your skin health. And so all exposed skin really should be shielded in some capacity, whether it is with a sunscreen or whether it's with clothing, making sure you wear your hats when you go outside. Again, trying to stay outside of direct contact with the sun, direct rays. All that is important. So nothing wrong with putting it on your hands. And most, often you find makeups that have sunscreen, foundations, light foundations that have sunscreen. So that's a really good thing too to consider.
Yeah. And thinking about when I'm driving, this hand is always getting a lot of sun there. So even if I'm not directly in the sun, I think about it.
I think one thing we also forget often is the need to remain hydrated, to make sure that we're getting enough water. And so hydration is not sodas or necessarily juices, but really I'm talking about water hydration. So staying away from carbonated drinks when you're outside, when you're enjoying the weather outside, staying away from even alcohol, consuming too much alcohol while you're outside, that can also be unhealthy. So remembering that's necessary.
You're getting some love for the earrings.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Posh Spice. You know, one thing we should also consider is what we're taking in, besides water and hydration, being our food. It's a good time to eat seasonal fruits, eating local if you can. Also, eating cooling foods like cucumbers, watermelons. That's a really good thing to think about. Coconut water. Coconut water is a great form of hydration with a lot of potassium. So that's great for your muscles too, to prevent dehydration.
Mm-hmm. And so is it time? Can I ask about hair removal then? I mean, just specifically in the sensitive regions, and this is not, I love for people to do what feels right for them. But for me, I do want a little bit of removal. And I want to not be a grizzly bear after it happens because I'm just miserable and irritated. So do you have best practices or anything you'd recommend?
Yeah, I think, when you're thinking about hair removal, you also have to think about skin preparation for hair removal. And so having healthy skin, because you want to avoid what you talked about, a lot of irritation and razor burns. For those who have coarser hair, curly hair, they oftentimes suffer from ingrown hair. So prepping the skin in these sensitive areas, we're talking about the genitalia, even the underarms, is necessary. Oftentimes recommend, and so that comes with good moisturizing skin, keeping the skin nice and soft. And then afterwards, using something cooling. I recommend often aloe vera gel, which has really nice moisturizing and cooling properties.
Immediately after, or also a day or two after?
Immediately in the day or two after. Yeah. You have women that have very sensitive skin, women who suffer from disorders like hidradenitis or suppurativa. And so if you know what that is, you know what it is. But basically it's when hair follicles end up having pockets of pus and mini abscesses, just to be basic about it. And these women oftentimes find it hard to remove hair in the home traditional method, which is usually shaving, depilatory or waxing because of their skin conditions. So you can think about things like laser hair removal. Laser hair removal, really at this point is safe for all skin types. Different lasers are better for some skin types than others. The laser is usually attracted to the pigment in the hair. So you want to make sure that you're using a safe laser if you are a person who has a darker skin tone, because you want to make sure that the laser is not just attracted to your skin to avoid burns. So going to a reputable person, whether it's an esthetician or a dermatologist, is necessary. Someone that is well versed in laser therapy and how to use a laser and how to avoid burns and how to avoid injury. But these other traditional methods like shaving or hair clipping or depilatory, I still say it's okay to do it in those sensitive areas, but you have to be mindful. You have to use clean razors. You don't want to leave your razor in the shower. You don't want to use a dull razor. So try to use a new razor every time you're going to shave sensitive areas. Make sure it's clean. If you're going to do depilatory, you want to make sure that you're not leaving that you read the instructions. And you know your time that you put it on. You don't leave it on too long because it can burn your skin. I personally recommend clipping the hair, not too low, not too close to the skin. That's how you really help to avoid razor bumps and also ingrown hairs. And you can still achieve something that is aesthetically pleasing, and removal. But it also helps to avoid those things that no one wants.
That is really good advice. And also, I'm just terrible about my razor. So that's a good reminder to me. We've got a really good question. Is it safe to do laser hair removal if you are pregnant or trying to be pregnant?
That's a good question. Most dermatologists or estheticians that use the laser, most people that use laser would say to try and avoid doing it during pregnancy because of hormone shifts and increased risk of hyperpigmentation.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it depends on the area, depends on the laser, depends on the technician.
Mm-hmm.
While you're trying to get pregnant, you can use the laser.
Okay. And this is kind of a curveball question, but I went once to get my brows done and it was way more painful than it had been other times. And the person doing it mentioned that it might be that when you're ovulating, you're more sensitive to hair removal. Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. When you're ovulating, you're oftentimes more sensitive to pain, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because of the process that's going on during and also during menstruation. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe avoid those times for hair removal, not only around the bikini area, but
Mm-hmm.
armpits or wherever you're removing the unwanted hair.
Well, the body's building a buffer because the more
Mhm.
pregnant you become, the less you have to see whatever is
Yeah.
happening.
Can I say this also, Hannah? There is
Mm-hmm.
not a gynecologist that cares about hair in the genitalia or in other areas. There's not. So there's no reason to come to have a GYN visit and apologize for anything. Hair in that area is natural. Hair in that area has a purpose. And so there's no reason to say, oh, sorry, I didn't get my wax. Oh, sorry, I didn't shave. I don't care. I'm happy you're here, you know?
And I just want to, because in my mind, I'm going, maybe you don't care, but does that, like, you sure? No GYNs are talking to other GYNs. You sure? Like, that's a universal thing that they don't care?
I don't want to say universal because I can't speak for everyone, but I will
Right.
speak for the majority because we do talk about it. And what we talk about is who cares? You know, it's a natural thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural thing. And so for a woman who maybe is giving birth, for that person who wants to remove hair because it makes it easier for her to care for herself after delivery, okay, that's fine. For the person who wants to remove hair, and I'm talking specifically now in the genitalia, the person who wants to remove hair because it's just what she wants, that's fine. Under the arms, same thing for, to apply your deodorant a bit better, closer to the skin to help decrease perspiration. That's fine. So if it's for desire, and that's totally okay, you just do it in the safest way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Leg hair removal, wherever. We haven't talked about other areas that we as women don't often talk about, which is chin and upper lip, sideburns, but we get hairs there too. You can still use all these methods for removal, even laser hair. There's electrolysis also too that is available in some areas if you're able to find. But it's to do it in a safe manner, to do it in an appropriate way for the skin type, skin area in which you're removing the hair. And then if you're going to do something you're not well versed in, like let's say home wax, go to a professional, let them do that for you.
Mm-hmm. I found that also out the hard way. Someone on Instagram has put a comment saying that's really good to know because I always lead with an apology. And I also do that. And I just want to remind myself and whoever is here that we shouldn't apologize for our bodies.
We should not. No, I enjoy a nice pedicure, and I enjoy seeing a nice pedicure. If I see a patient, she has pretty nail color, I will comment because I enjoy seeing nail color. But if you didn't get your toes done before you came, that's okay.
I have not had mine done in a year. So. But I'm not apologizing about it.
It's so nice to be here with you.
Back at you, babe.
Yes.
It's been a minute. And it's so nice to be getting feedback live from people who are here with us and watching. But speaking of no apologies, there's another thing that people might be thinking of as they're shedding layers, which is weight management.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you look at commercials, weight management and a weight loss usually comes out seasonally, summer and winter, right after New Year. But if you think about it, it's something that we should be thinking about year long, and not just weight loss, but like you said, weight management. And how can we get ourselves to a healthy weight, and how can we manage that? Exercise, diet, good nutrition, all important. But I think the most important is mindset and remembering the purpose of being at a healthy weight is to be a healthy person. We at our office offer weight management counseling. We integrate unique techniques to help women take control of their weight management journey, and also to help them become accountable and stay accountable to themselves. And so we integrate our services with medications that are FDA approved for weight management, weight loss, but also really helping a woman understand it's important to exercise, to get your regular exercise throughout the week that's rigorous, to maintain a diet that's healthy in nutrition. And we tag that along with nutrition counseling with a registered dietitian, and also with someone to help with workouts.
And Evocient, all the staff of Evocient is undergoing a challenge, and we're about to post a lot about it. But do you want to tell a little bit about the idea and the parameters?
Yeah, so we each decided, if you're going to preach it, you need to live it. And so all of the members of our practice have decided to take on a specific diet type. Again, this is not dieting, but this is life-changing. And so whether it's Mediterranean diet, whether it's a lower sugar diet, whether it is a keto type of diet or a gluten-free diet, we all have different diets that we have chosen for our own body types, along with the help of our nutrition counselor, our nurse practitioner, to help us along this journey. And so for the next few weeks, we will be featuring on our platforms a member of our staff in her journey. And also that includes exercise too.
That's great. We've had a comment that said that it's not easy during a pandemic. And I think it's totally fair to acknowledge that this year has not been easy, not only because of the pandemic, but we've been in a modern civil rights movement and so many things that have been fallouts from the pandemic. And so I think it's really nice to have a supportive environment to be able to steer your health in the direction that you want it to go in, because it was really difficult this past year.
It's been a tough year. And a lot of people have put on weight, and so now we're entering this new season where people are feeling a bit more free. And we're talking about getting summer ready, just like you said, shedding that weight, not necessarily shedding it out of shame, but shedding it out of renewing themselves. And I think that's the appropriate way to look at it. Again, this is all about health. And how can we be the healthiest self? How can we be our healthiest selves possible? And doing it in a communal way, doing it in a way in which we are supporting one another, like we often say, getting better together is really important, I think. And so there is grace we have to give ourselves. We have all gone through this together, and we're all going to go forward together.
Oh, we've got a really good question here. It's been said that weight loss increases your chances to conceive. Is this true or a myth?
This is very true, especially for women in which weight is what is causing them to not ovulate. Women with PCOS often do not ovulate, or often don't ovulate because of being obese. Being obese does increase their chances of not ovulating. And so shedding some of that weight allows your body to regulate, and it will allow you to be able to ovulate. And so, it can help with those women who have fertility issues because of their not ovulating.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I didn't know that. We've got another good comment. The beach is going to get the body I give it. To have a beach body, take your body to the beach. Period.
Yes.
But if we can feel better in the process, if we can be healthier and go to the beach longer, more days, more years of beaching, then all the better.
Yeah, this is all about being health. This is all about being healthy. Get summer ready. Get ready to continue getting healthy. Just like our Posh Spice said, the beach is going to give the body I give it. Take your body to the beach. Be active. Be happy, be positive, be all of these things so that you can like you said, go to the beach longer, have a longer life and a happier, healthier life.
And that's the key for me too. It's my mental health is so caught up in in the exercise that I get and the foods that I put in. And it's so easy when I'm feeling low to just reach for the easiest thing, which is not always the healthiest thing.
Yeah. You know, healthier foods take thought. Healthier foods do take time, but healthier foods actually give you those good endorphins over time that you need. So,
Well, I am going to wrap this up here, but I want to let everyone know that next week we have right now an open spot to answer your questions. So a lot of times we come in with a topic and we're ready to discuss things that that Dr. Ojo Cairns hears from her patients or has on her mind, but we want to open it up to you guys next week. So get your questions in, mail them in advance. You can give them to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, comment on YouTube, any of these channels to let us know what you need, or just jump in and ask questions as we go. Anything else, Dr. Ojo Cairns? Oh, I think it's frozen on StreamYard. Okay, I'll end the broadcast on StreamYard then.